Technodrome. Let's kick shout.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast, currently on hiatus. I will be one of your hosts this evening. Watching Paint Dry is the show where we hang out long after we should have thought about going to bed on a Saturday night and work through the absurd backlog of miniatures that we seem to keep accumulating for ourselves, either by purchase or 3D print or what have you. There's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die. So we're just trying to stave off death for as long as humanly possible. That's not how that works. And joining me on the line, as always, our resident monkey handler, my good friend Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. I realized I made a mistake, but I have rectified it, so we're all good. I forgot to get my wet palette wet.
That would help.
Yep. Luckily, I had a cup of completely fresh drinking water, so I was just like, oh, I can just pour some of this in here.
Yep, that'll do it. I've got a similar story about my brush rinser, so I'll get into that in just a second. As with all the shows that we host on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. Let's paint some minis. Yep, there's two of us, so we're going to press this button, and we're off to the races. Wow, that was a smooth intro. Man, I'm now worried.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, everything is fine. I need to find a reference photo. Actually, I'm going to go images.google. Mr. Sinister. First appearance comics. Yeah, so I was I went to hey cows, how are you? You get to watch me do art tonight. I went to fill up or to like empty I have the little brush toilet thing that I use, and I flushed it and I was like, it is not flushing. Why is it not flushing? And I realized that was because it was full of discarded paint water. Have you ever noticed that discarded paint water is always this like strange shade of maroon?
Yep.
Like, how weird is that?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but if you mix enough colors, you just get this like brown like blob. No,
Yeah.
paint.
Yeah, exactly. You're tired?
Fact,
Yeah, I don't blame you. But you got a long weekend. So.
Related to like colors. It was like Coca-Cola came out with like the orange cream Coke, and it had like 3 or 4 different flavors. Like all mixed into one. And I just like tasted it one time. I was just like, this is like the brown of flavors. Like you just mixed up too much stuff, and it's just this blah taste now. Yeah.
All right. So here's the question, and cows, you can chime in on this as well. Oh, are you really? Wow. Do I paint Mr. Sinister per his first appearance in comics, or his most notable appearance, which is the X-Men TV show?
I'd say go with consistency over, like, you usually do first appearance in comics for most of your minis.
Well, it's one of the two. It's not usually first appearance necessarily. It's just notable appearance in comics. So like,
And I mean,
Solomon Grundy, I went with Faces of Evil.
uh-huh.
But I think
What was the...
his costumes are pretty much the same across the board. Yeah. Yeah, okay. No, I'm sold. I'm gonna go like somewhere in between X-Men 97 and his first appearance in comics. They are very, very similar. His design hasn't changed a whole lot. And we're just gonna dive in with some I think Throwing Shade Blue right here is pretty much exactly the color I'm targeting, which is pretty great. So I got Lisa working in my shed, my 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, there are lines on your arm. Did you get a tattoo?
I did.
What is it?
It is a Leffy script for, it's like the first 3 ideals of the Bondsmith. So it's from the Stormlight Archive.
Well, that's very appropriate that we're talking about that.
Yeah. So the Bondsmith is Dalinar. I pictured him a little while ago. Like each order of knights, there are 10 different orders, has like 5 ideals.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 have been revealed for Dalinar. The Bondsmiths are like unique as opposed to having like hundreds of members. Like there are only 3 Bondsmiths.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is shared among all the groups, and it says life before death, strength before weakness, and journey before destination.
Okay.
That's the top one. The middle one is the second ideal of the Bondsmith, which is I will unite instead of divide. I will bring men together. And the third one says, I will take responsibility for what I have done. If I must fall, I will rise each time a better man.
Interesting. That's cool. I like that.
And I added, like, I also have the, can't really show it. It's like on my shoulder, but it's the symbol for the Bondsmith is tattooed at the top of my shoulder as well.
So was that one that you already had, or is?
No. I got them both done on Thursday.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you're just getting into the agony then.
Am I?
Yeah.
It hasn't been too bad so far.
Huh?
It hasn't been too bad so far. It feels like I just have like a sunburn.
It feels like a sunburn, yeah. It's and that's more the pain in the butt of it all. How late do I stream tonight? We're going till midnight. Cows. That's normally. I mean, sometimes we'll cut it a little short if we finish early, but since I'm just starting out, I believe we'll probably be going till midnight.
Worry my shell at wounded knee.
So yeah, the actually getting a tattoo is not that painful. It really isn't. But the healing process it's just aggravating more than anything else.
Yeah, so I'm at like per the post-care instructions and stuff, they like washing and putting moisturizer and stuff on 3 times a day.
Yep.
No exposure, no direct sunlight exposure.
Yep.
So like I've been wearing long sleeves Friday and today. In fact, I've been wearing like my sun shirts that are like the UV resistant and stuff.
Yeah. So I was an idiot when I got the Samus tattoo, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I had my bike race 2 days later.
Oh, that sounds like yeah.
2. No, I mean, sorry. I should be more specific. 2 days out of the healing process. So like I had gone through, like it was fully healed, but it was like you still probably should avoid sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bike 50 miles. That seems like a great idea. My artist was like, dude, F you. So help me if you screw up my...
Don't ruin it.
I was like, Josh, I can't help when the Proudy is and when your schedule allows me to sit for 4 hours. But no, it all came out good.
Yeah. No, I was impressed. Like, this only took about 2 hours to get all of it done.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
Well, I've got... Yeah, my next tattoo is Link from Legend of Zelda. I'm going to get... I finally settled on it. I was considering Donatello from the Ninja Turtles for a while because I was irritated with Breath Tears. But I decided that if I go with a very specific Link, then it's not going to come off as just being a poser.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Fierce Deity Link from Majora's Mask, which is my favorite 3D Zelda game, with a pink streak in his hair to represent
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past.
Yeah.
And he will also be not holding the Fierce Deity sword. He will have the standard Hylian sword and board. And that'll finish up the quartet on my legs. And then we move on into more interesting stuff. And this is all assuming I ever have money again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like once we get more information, like I left the weights around my arm. Like I have like the space to add the other 2 out of the 5. Once they get released in the books, like what they are.
Sure, yeah.
Like what the ideas are. So
yeah. My more interesting ones. Josh specializes in cryptids and that sort of thing, like mythical creatures and whatnot. So I'm gonna have him do Cthulhu on my shoulder.
Right.
Unless there's a Lovecraftian elder god that he would prefer to do, I really don't care. Just something Lovecraft. And then my favorite record cover is going to go on my right shoulder. That'll end up being like a partial sleeve. I don't know. I gotta properly sit down with Josh and be like, all right, how do we want to do this? But it's based on my favorite record cover plus some photography that I did when I was in high school. And I'm particularly fond of. Oops. So I did finish watching X-Men 97.
Yeah.
It is very good. I really enjoyed it. I did not. I still have my problems with the animation style and whatnot. But the storytelling and voice acting were top notch. I think I've given up on the Umbrella Academy, though.
Season 3?
Yeah, I like... I don't know, it moved too slowly for the first few episodes, and I was like, I think I'm just done. It's hard to dedicate, like when I only have so much time to watch TV at all, it's hard to dedicate time to a show that moves slowly.
Yeah.
Technodrome, the final shell shock.
What else happened this week? I did get to hang out with Adam and Shamali briefly to work on our little project.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming along.
That's
We
good to
are
hear.
aiming to have a playable demo by Gen Con.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. We're not expecting to have it done anytime soon, but we're, just getting our trusted peeps to take a look at it. That being like the Trevors and Alexes of the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is so much blue.
I'm on the same boat. I've got, like, his entire armor is blue.
Watching paint dry is taking a blue shift tonight.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I differently, so I have, like, Adolin here is in shard plate, but he has his, like, painted blue.
Yep.
So I just, like, did an actual blue, because, like, the standard shard plate is more of, like, this, just a slate gray.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the characters will paint their shard blades and shard plates and stuff like that. Kaladin, being a full Knight Radiant, like, generates his own that kind of glows and stuff. So
That's a nuisance.
Well, I'm just using the Elven armor from Army Painter, so it's like a metallic blue to give it like a real sheen and stuff to it, as opposed to like a more flat, just painted blue.
Oh, you mean something like... hold on. Something like this. I can't get it on screen with Mr. Sinister hanging out there. This is a Green Stuff World metallic light blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've also got these like metal interference paints that I'm interested in trying. They basically turn regular paints into color shift.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know exactly. Like, I need something to try that, to test that on before I can actually like roll it out. I did some playing with paint markers this week. Just for curiosity's sake, for learning and growing. Actually, Cow's big sister is getting a film lab dedicated to her and her friends for working so hard to establish a film club at our school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I printed a little plaque for the wall, and I wanted to paint it up to look like a plaque. But I didn't want to use my good paints, and also that would have taken forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some paint markers, and they work okay. They're not great, but it'll look good. And I did my due diligence. I did a little touching up with my good paints, but clear coated it and stuff. Not something I normally do with minis, because I find the clear coat tends to wash them out, and if they're being played every single week, like if it's an Arkham mini, I'm gonna hit it with a varnish. But
Yeah.
if it's one of these, I don't tend to, just because I hardly ever touch them. With whoever designed Mr. Sinister's cape.
Went all out.
Huh?
Went all out.
Yeah, but also did not have painting miniatures in mind when they designed it. It's a red gem. Oh, that'll be fun.
One of my least favorite games to play when painting minis is, did I miss a spot or is that just a shadow?
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're working with Dark Primer.
Yep. And contrary to intuition, reflective paints, like in metallic ones, don't make it easier.
No, they do not. If anything, they make it worse.
Yeah. You think like if light's reflecting off of it, it'd be easier to see the spots you missed because they wouldn't be reflecting light, but no,
Right.
it just makes it
No.
harder.
Yeah. I finished Benedict Fox last night.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
I really, really did. It was absolutely phenomenal. And like, I think I mentioned last week, I turned the combat difficulty basically off. I was like, that's not what that's not what I'm interested here. I want to just explore and learn and puzzle my way through things and have some fun. I don't want to be bashing my head against enemies constantly. And I definitely think that enhanced the experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I capable of playing it with, taking proper amounts of damage and dealing proper amounts of damage? Of course. But that's not the experience that I want to get right now.
Yeah.
And I 100%ed it, so I unlocked all the trophies and everything, or the achievements. Which is not, again, something I normally do, but like, again, I was having so much fun with it, and every side bit contributes to the story.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, oh, I definitely want to be like finishing this. Come on. Yeah, got it. Okay. I decided to remove his cape.
Oh, was it not attached?
It was. It's 2 layers. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, this is dumb, and I can't access like half the model.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna pop it off, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
separate
remember
the 2
having a
layers
lot
of
of
cape too.
difficulty with him.
I'm glad to see that my primer did very good coverage even under the cape. That makes me happy. Oh, bugger. Oh well, it's red. No, I just made a mistake. I went a little too I got a little slap happy with the blue. So I started printing a few more paint racks today, because I think so. TT Combat just released their second wave, and I don't feel the need to buy the whole thing this time.
Okay.
But there's a few colors, especially their yellows, that I've just been really, really happy with, and I just want a few more.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm gonna pick up at Gen Con this year. I also got paid for being the 8th grade advisor yesterday, and I was like, oh, that's not a small amount of money. And that means that the upgrades that I need to do to my computer will cost me, well, they won't cost me a lot less, but they will be a lot less impactful that I have to do them, and I can also afford to buy my wife a new Chromebook, which she very badly needs. Very convenient that both of our computers poop the bed at the same time, isn't it?
That's
Always how it goes.
hopefully that works.
What did you do?
I got an ivory colored paint to start with the clouds.
Uh-huh.
I just haven't used it in a while, so I was hoping that it got mixed up enough.
Oh, gotcha.
So I started once again another Arkham campaign.
Okay.
This is just the waking side of the Dreamlands, though. So
Oh, okay. So it's not, yeah.
it's not like a new campaign. It was just I got to try out a new character
Right.
because it's the opposite side. And
Now, when we were playing, you were playing the Dreaming side, right?
yes,
Okay. And we never finished that because
of
I stopped working at well, because of things.
Yeah. But in this time I am playing Carson.
Oh, I've not played him yet, or seen him played even.
He's the butler. His ability, he gets a unique action that he can do that is let someone else take an action. So it's like on his card, activate action, let someone else take an action.
Boy, I know one character who loves that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know quite a lot of characters who. I know one player, let's say, who loves that.
But the added benefit is you get like he gets a fourth action that can only be used to use that ability.
Oh,
so, like,
wow.
He can still take
Okay.
three actions, and then use the fourth to let someone else take another action.
That's actually dope, though.
But you can use that ability on. It's a limit of once per investigator per round. So
Okay.
you can't just be like, you take an action 3 times.
Right. Hey,
You have to
Ramonair.
like spread it out. So in a 4-player game like we're playing, it's really useful to be like, oh, we need extra clues, so let the investigators do an extra investigate action. I built mine to be support with the ability to fight, which is really hilarious because his stat line is 2 across the board.
Right. Yeah, I knew that.
But being able to let whoever needs to take actions take actions. To be like, oh, you need to be at this location, so why don't you take a move action? Or, like I said, let the investigators investigate to get extra clues quickly. It was really beneficial for like the mystic who had Rite of Seeking, where it's like used an action, drew a symbol, and then like their turn ended.
Right.
And then I was just like, well, why don't you try that again? And gave them an extra action out of their turn.
Apologies for missing the previous stream. Computer troubles. Oh, that's all right. We finished Benedict Fox last night. It was great. And I am looking. I have purchased the Humble Metroidvania Madness or whatever Metroidvania Mayhem bundle. So I have 8 more indie Metroidvanias queued up. I'm gonna pick. I'm just gonna kind of examine them over the next couple days, and I will pick one. I think I have my eye on one. Also, Phantisma in chat suggested that we play Carrion, which I have also picked up, and we'll probably be playing. I think that might be just the name of the game on stream for a while, is some indie Metroidvanias. Just because I had a lot of fun with that. There's a definitive end point. Yeah, it was good. And we'll play those until, well, at least until I get my computer working properly with the PlayStation again. Yeah, we still got to finish our Hemlock Vale campaign. Very Very sad that I haven't had a chance to do that yet, because I mean, as I was explaining to my therapist the other day, like, one of the reasons that, so, you know, a point in contention, I would say, in any relationship is when things don't get done in a timely enough way, right? Like, and I said, you know, one of the problems I have right now is on weekends, like, Katie works every other weekend.
Yep.
And which means on the weekends she's working, I'm alone with the baby, which
Yep.
means I can't get anything done at all.
Yep.
And so on the weekends that we're together, you know, we want to do stuff as a family. So I similarly can't get anything done. So I'm really looking forward to her new job, because that will be less impactful. Like, she only has to work like one weekend a month.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess that's very similar to the situation you have.
Yeah, I got like every 6 weeks.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that that affords me a little bit more time to get down to the boys and play Arkham. Welcome, RPD. What's up? It is definitely loser concepts for losers. But it's all in the name of democracy, my friend. And Merc and Paul and I just spread some very good democracy, so very happy about that. We were doing the old Helldivers thing.
I need to look into Helldivers.
It's a lot of fun. It's cheap. It's only $40 on PlayStation.
Nice.
I you know, checking my privilege for a moment, Blink in the chat is a saint and bought it for me when it came out. I will say, like, there's an upper limit to it. Like, Paul and Merc are drank a whole Pepsi and now you're not tired anymore. Cows, come on. But welcome back. Paul and Merc, you know, they're playing it off stream. They're playing it with you know, like off time. They're playing it with randos. I'm not doing either of those things. Like, I'm only playing it with people that I know. And yes, that makes it so that I'm a woefully lower level than they are.
Yeah.
But what's nice about it is I'm no less effective.
Mm-hmm.
And my music is cut out. Wait, has it? Oh no, that's your mixer thing.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear my mixer?
Yeah, only because the music is paused. I don't know why YouTube does that. It's just like, I'm gonna pause your music for no reason. I should probably use something else for ambient, but I'm too lazy to find anything. And Apple Music doesn't have video game music, so, which I think is dumb. Apple, get on that, because they're definitely watching this, you know, stream with 4 people in it.
Yeah, I've been looking into Helldivers, but I've been playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is a ton of fun, and I really enjoy it. It's good and mindless and easy to just pick up and play for like hour, 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's one of the tricks about Helldivers. Is it's like, if we're gonna play a campaign, it's 3 missions long, and it ranges from, like, the first campaign we did in like half an hour, all 3 missions, but then the second one took us almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And like, I knew I had to stream, or I knew we were streaming, so I, you know, I was like, I'm done now. But it's really enjoyable to play with people, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we have a tendency in our clan to baptize new people by fire.
Mm-hmm.
And Merc and I pulled my friend John into a mission that it wasn't the top difficulty, but it was like second to top or third to top.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I just got my face caved in and I had an absolute blast.
Yeah.
And I was like, that speaks very, very highly of this product.
But like Deep Rock is a lot like that too. It's like the way they have the stuff structured for the levels and stuff. Like I can be playing with some of my friends, and we may have like promoted or prestiged like some classes, but then if I play with a lower tier person that like I may be like player level 80 something and they may be like player level like 13, like it's not like a huge wide gap.
Right, it's not like they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Um
And I love the I love the tongue-in-cheek humor, which like the whole spreading democracy joke, like joking about like Helldivers, is like similar, except that it's just like for the corporation work, blah blah blah, like capitalism, like hyper capitalism for Deep Rock Galactic, which I find hilarious.
Yeah. You know what's really funny about it though is like the whole democracy thing of Helldivers.
Yeah.
There are people who don't get it, who are like, no, this is like this is the way kind of thing. I'm like, okay, I don't think you're realizing how much of a joke this is. Like,
yeah, it's a tongue-in-cheek, like it's meant for comedy. It's satire.
It's very satirical. Oh my god! Stop sticking to things. What did I do? Did I spill something on this? My coaster's all covered with gunk. However, that's why we have backups. And I will simply clean that one when I am done. Okay. More blue. This is starting to get ridiculous. There. Do. Yeah, the folds are blue. All I'm saying is, if we work hard enough, we can reach a point where super glue is an upgrade to our suspensions. I would have laughed harder if you said duct tape. Yeah, so I heard a really interesting thing, a really interesting commentary on duct tape recently that I am. It made me think. It was Adam Savage from Mythbusters, and he was talking about how he doesn't especially care for duct tape. And I really think I agree with him. Like, it's not that good. It's great in a pinch, but it's like it leaves residue all over things. It sticks to itself better than it sticks to anything else. Like, there are better tapes. Gaff tape is amazing. And it's removable.
Mm-hmm.
And like only a theater dork's gonna tell you that, but super glue is The one that's used as an actual upgrade in Helldivers. Yeah, that's true. My life for super glue. I mean, super Earth. What? Oh dear. Almost missed a huge part. So used to painting characters with gloves that come up to their elbows that... Not sure exactly what Sinister's gloves are, but we'll get there in a second. So his boots are a slightly different color. They are slightly darker. Let's see if I can even pull that off. I have my doubts. Or do I just go straight? No, I'm not going to max Darth this. So I do think... so I'm going to try and do some of the... like dark highlight stuff that... Or dark low light stuff that Adam's been doing. On not my MCP minis, but like my zombies minis or something like that. I really want to try that technique. I like it, and it seems in general faster than the multi-layer technique that I've been doing. But I think I want to do the black lines with Max Darth.
Mm-hmm.
Just to go that extra unnecessary step. So we got our tickets to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Good.
I'm very excited. Like, I know to temper my expectations on this movie. Like, I get that. But also, it looks like it's going to be a fun romp. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you see the disclaimer from Ryan Reynolds?
I did, yeah. I also saw, did you see the turn off your cell phones?
No.
Deadpool is well, so we've got opening night tickets, so it's the 25th of July, so it's 26th, I guess it comes out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm very, very stoked about it.
So what was the turn off your cell phone? What?
It's basically, so they hear a cell phone going off, and Wolverine goes nuts about it, on whoever it was. And starts cussing him out. And then they walk away, and Deadpool goes, "Nice fourth wall break. I didn't know you had it in you."
Nice.
You know what? That is a belt. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better now. Huh. Boy, Sinister himself is a very boring looking character. He's only like 3 colors.
Yep.
I am, however, going to use Max Darth on him. For certain.
For what?
Like his eyes.
Okay.
And his hair. Just really make him creepy and gross. I was looking back at my Facebook memories the other day, and the episode where I painted Professor Pig came up.
Oh.
And I was like, God, I hate it. Like, that mini came out so well, but that character is so disgusting.
I hate Professor Pig so much.
He is the worst.
Oh, please, I don't want to lose you. Earthshade. Oh, let's see here. Earthshade. Maybe it's just this tone of red-brown that I'm doing for the ground here, but this Agrax Earthshade is not pulling as much work as it usually does.
Huh. That's one of our staples.
Yep.
All right. Well.
I was about to say, here is my Sinister that I did a couple years back.
Ah. Wow, yeah, that came out well.
I used the same like metallic blue elven armor for his like bodysuit.
So I'm looking at him, and I don't actually think he's metal. But I like what you did.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of regretting my decision.
Sorry. And yeah, the flare with the jackets or with the cloak is just absurd.
Yeah, it's super nuisance. Yeah, because I could have used this this almost Persian violet situation, or even Neptunius blue, but no, I'm not upset about this. I think this allows me a little more freedom. Huh. We'll let that dry and move on to red. Actually, I might do the black first. For a couple of different reasons. What's an R thanks I hate it post? R error? Where are you? Here you are. Ooh, cookie. Oh, the Professor Pigmini? Yeah. Yeah. That is exactly what it was. It looks like it's around his eyes. This is going to be some interesting bit of freehand here. Oh gosh. Somehow or another, I have to go to a small... Oh, I have a small brush. Oh, it's right there. Fantastic. Alright. Here now. Go to a bigger brush for that. I never noticed this before, but Mr. Sinister and Tombstone have the same haircut.
Yep. Which is almost the same as Colossus as well.
It's true. Yeah, I was just gonna say, who is this super heroic or super villainous, I guess, hairstylist? This seems like a job for RPD with the Sentinel Comics roleplay game core rulebook. All right, bread time. Whoa!
What's wrong?
Oh, kombucha down the wrong tube.
That's no
Oh,
good.
that burns. That is unpleasant. Still tastes dang good, though. So my buddy went to see the new Mad Max movie today.
Yeah.
So like everybody seems to love the previous one.
Yeah.
I just kind of enjoyed it. I was like, yep, this is fun. We'll likely never see it again. And that is held true so far. I guess I just don't know what to make of it. Like, oh, there we go. I find Anya Taylor-Joy to be kind of annoying.
How so?
Like, her eyes are so far apart, and it's disconcerting.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't find her like conventionally attractive. Like that is one thing. Like her eyes are a little wide apart. Her features are like too angular,
Yeah, yeah,
and like I don't know. Like she has like a very odd appearance to her.
yeah. And it's like, why are people going bonkers over her? Like, she's a very mediocre actor. At least as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Although I do love Chris Hemsworth, so there's a chance I do see this new one. Not a high chance, but a chance. I guess part of it too is I don't understand the draw of the Mad Max movies. Like
Uh-huh.
they're not. Are they just apocalyptic, Fast and Furious? Because
Well, they were also around a lot longer before Fast and Furious.
right? No, I know, but like, what is the purpose here? Not that film, like, don't get me wrong, Pacific Rim doesn't have a purpose either, but its purpose is that it doesn't have a purpose. And I love that about it. It's just entertainment. In a way that we don't really see anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like the director wants Mad Max to be something prolific in some way that I don't quite understand. Boy, I'm having just the craziest eye spasms today.
That's good.
You know what I mean, right? Like when you stare at something for too long and your eyes are just like, meh.
Yep.
I also found time to watch Days of Future Past again this week.
That's such a good movie.
That is such a wonderful movie. Like I'd forgotten how just pure X-Men that movie is.
Did you watch the theatrical?
Please. Look who you're asking.
Good. The road cut is so much better.
It's 1,000 times better. It just everything makes more sense. And I don't know about you, but like I always wanted to see Channing Tatum get his opportunity to play Gambit.
Mm-hmm. Taylor Kirsch did a good job in Wolverine, but
I think so too, but he was underused.
Garbage. Sorry, what?
He was underused. Like,
yeah. Like the entirety of that movie was utter garbage, except for the parts with him in it, and
yeah,
it really, yeah, like that was how you're going to introduce the character. Like, really?
Yeah, that's no good. But I did watch that movie again recently though, and I was like, okay, this isn't as bad as we gave it credit for, or didn't give it credit, however you put that. Like, it's bad, but it's not as bad as all that. So, there is that. All right. What do I have for? Oh. Idea.
What's up?
I am going to attempt to do the impossible here. I'm going to coat he's got like that gem situation on his
forehead,
and on his chest too.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to coat that in Max Darth, and then use, I think, this red goblin color shift. But I'm gonna look and see if I have a better one. No, I think this is gonna be the one. We'll see what that does. Ow. I need a brush that's maybe not quite as big as the one I've been using. This one's all mangled, but I think it'll do. Maybe not. This one, I guess. Dry for a minute. Touch up some of this blue while I'm here. That didn't sound good.
Just drop the brush.
Oh, well, that'll happen. Ouch. Alright, let's... Is that ready yet? Yeah, sure, why not? What's this one? Yeah, I think it is. Highlight it back to life. I think it looks all right, but I think I need to add a little bit to it. I'll probably highlight it a little bit. Alright, now I need to find a color for his skin tone, which shouldn't be that difficult. It's basically just gray flesh. Which means it is...
I used a more like whitish color.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm headed. I'm just looking at what I've got. Here we go. Yep, Strigoi flesh. This allows me a little bit of room to highlight it back to white.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did like my like ivory, like the off-white.
Yep.
And then once I did the wash over it, was able to highlight up to a brighter white.
Yeah. Oh no. Weird. More brush time. Oh dear.
What's wrong?
Dropping brushes in my lap and startling myself. Everything is fine. Oh dear. Throwing things around.
Throw it on the ground.
That's not my dad. This is a cell phone. What do you think I am? Stupid? I'm an adult, says the guy painting miniatures at 11:30 at night.
Model painting is a very acceptable and reasonable adult hobby.
Yep. Agreed. They say it's very soothing. It's totally gonna work. Very cool. Nailed it.
What's up?
So I wanted to make the gem in his forehead stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I outlined it in Max Darth, and it looks cool. Next up, I'm going to do the red in his eyes. Which should be a little bit easier than doing the black dots that you normally put in someone's eyes. No. See that. What is that remote error? TwitchCon hype? Alright. Inking time, I think. Oh, wait, no. I have to do the inside of his cape. Duh. Just jamming to the music, and I was getting alien vibes, so I did tentacle orbs. Fair enough. Fair enough. This is the music from Metroid Prime 3. Fun fact, one of very few Metroid games I have not played.
Yeah, I've only played Metroid Prime 1. I never did 2 or 3.
Yeah. I played most of Prime 1. I haven't quite finished it. I will. I'm just procrastinating, I guess. Painting the inside of cloth. Definitely the most riveting part of the show tonight.
Yep. I'm hitting a cloud.
That also sounds riveting.
think next time when I do this, instead of doing an off-white with a blue wash, I might just do a really light blue to start with, and then off-white, and then white. Because I think the wash is still making some of the recesses a little too dark, but not terrible, but not ideal.
Sure. Well, that's one of the two capes done. Here comes the other. More red. Apparently there was, speaking of more red, there was a trailer, a multiplayer trailer dropped for Space Marine 2 this week. And we learned that it is not a cooperative campaign.
That's
sad. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I know. The whole game is about Captain Titus or Commander Titus or whatever his rank is now. But, like, that is exactly the kind of game that should be co-op.
The entire game of Halo is about Master Chief, but
it's got co-op.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just Horde mode is nice and all. This coming from a Gears player. Horde mode is nice, but co-op campaign is still amazingly fun. And arguably the correct way to play Gears. Where did that paint pot go? I knocked it on the floor? What happened to it? Oh, it just fell over. So the color I chose for the red on Sinister was Viscera Red, because I just felt that made sense. There were any number of other reds I could have chosen. Heck, I even considered using some Citadel Red, but when I found one called Viscera Red, I was like, yeah, that's probably the one it should be. So 2 weeks from now, I'll be regaling you with stories from Hershey Park.
Yay, Hershey Park.
So excited. One of my favorite roller coaster parks in the country.
I haven't been up there in several years.
It's just fun, you know? Like, the theme is so loose. It's like somebody at the Hershey Company was like, I love roller coasters, and we have $1 bajillion. So, even though it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, we're opening a theme park.
Yep.
And, you know, they contracted with some of the best designers in the industry. And they just made a dang good park.
That'll come out well.
And I also learned this week that I don't want to say worst roller coaster designer in the world, but like the most boring roller coaster designer in the world, Vekoma, is the company that Disney uses for all of their rides.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why Vekoma? Is it because they're cheap?
No idea.
It just makes no sense to me because, like, Vekoma being the company that is notorious for just copy pasting their cheapest design in every park ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you choose them, Disney? Intamin is so much more like they're all. I guess they're contracted by Universal, but I don't know. It just seemed a little weird to me that they go with that one. But I'm not the one who makes those calls. If I were, I'd be making a lot more money. Oh, dang it. I just smacked the camera. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right. 10 minutes left. Inking time?
Yeah.
I think it's inking time. And I think Mr. Sinister is going to be pretty simple. I think it's just straight Nuln Oil all day long. And his highlight coat will be pretty straightforward, too. I do have to do his base next time, but that's, you know, trivial. By comparison. Where is my Nuln Oil? There it is. I am going to use a slightly smaller brush here than I often use on inking, just to see if I can control the ink a little bit better. Especially on the red parts. No!
What's wrong?
Oh, that's the null and oil spill.
No!
Oh, and that's most of it, too. Oh, nuts. Oh, that was all on camera, too. Dang it. Well, rip. So help me, Games Workshop, if you discontinued that color, I'm going to be livid.
Null and oil?
There was whispers of it.
Huh?
They were talking about it.
Why would they do that? That's like the best.
I know, it's like the most important thing. Let's see if there's anything else I can get out of this. Alright, well, guess it's time for me to clean up this nonsense. Rip null and oil. Thank goodness for Bounty paper towels. Not a sponsor. Clean up on Sinister. Sinister. Oh, that's such a mess. But it could have been worse. This work surface was due for a cleaning anyway, so I'm not super upset, but the waste of null and oil is more upsetting than the mess, which I guess is a good thing. Anyway, how you feeling, Broody? You good?
Yeah, I'm just doing some highlighting now, and I'm good.
All right. Well, I'm going to go clean up a mess. Thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody. I will be back on Monday playing something. Some indie Metroidvania, presumably, because I just bought a bunch of them. And then next weekend, more painting. I will endeavor to make progress on Sinister. I think he's looking pretty good, pretty creepy, pretty gross. I got this Hexwraith Flame stuff to do, and I do have a GW technical for that that's getting chromed out right now. And I'm excited to try out on a more like a more appropriate scale. I've also got some various technicals from Green Stuff World that I can apply in this as well. I'm considering using some fluor paint. Haven't quite figured out the mix yet, but I do have a sort of fluorescent lime and a fluorescent yellow, certainly, that we can make that sort of glowing green fire with. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We will talk to you very soon. Broody, thank you so much for doing this with me, as always.
Not a problem. It was tons of fun.
Yeah. And we will talk to you. Well, I'll talk to you on Monday, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.